Hello and welcome to Colorado Mountain College. My name is Joseph Police and I'm going to be your online math teacher this semester. This class that you're in is a part of the School of Transitional Education. This is often called developmental education as well. But this is, and we'll talk a little bit more about what that is in the next couple of minutes. But I just want to introduce myself. Again, my name is Joseph Police, and this is a video about the online course orientation. So I'm going to teach you how to be a student in this class, kind of the expectations of, how to do homework, how to take notes, how to, how I'm going to grade you and all that kind of stuff. We're going to go over the syllabus in this video as well. A little bit about me. I'm a high school math teacher in Frisco, Colorado. I'm an adjunct CMC professor, so I teach Math 050 and Math 055, and then I do a lot of concurrent enrollment for the high school that I teach at. The reason I am a teacher at the school that I'm a teacher at is because I specialize in flipped, blended, and online learning. And so I'm going to talk a little bit more about why I teach this way, and why it's so powerful and how you can become a better student from it. So we'll see in a bit. Okay, so just wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about the School of Transitional Education. This school is also called the School of Developmental Education, and so the point of this class and these classes that are in this part of Colorado Mountain College is to prepare you for college level courses and your degree requirements, okay? And so, one thing that you have to understand is that even though you are in college, these courses are preparing you for college level, okay? So what these courses do is they provide you the additional skills that you're going to need for college level courses. You were probably placed in this class based by an AccuPlacer score or some sort of standardized test score like an SAT. Okay, and the difference between the School of Transitional Education or DevEd and your normal CMC classes is that the credits for this class count towards your GPA only and not your degree. It can sometimes be part of like an admission into your degree. I know for like nursing, for example, you need Math 055 in order to get into the nursing program, and I think that you're done with classes. But one of the things that I want you guys to do is talk to your advisor about what math classes you need for your degree. Okay. And that's really important that you have a clear picture as to what you need to take. And make sure that, when you take a math class, so, right now it's, whatever semester it is, you should be making sure that you are taking a math class the next following semester, okay? Because right now, when you're in this class, it's going to be fresh. All right, you want to make sure that by the next time that you can take the next opportunity you can take a class, that you're taking a math class. And you want to keep that ball rolling, because if you take a semester off or you take a year off, you're not going to remember everything that was taught to you in the class that you're currently in. So it's really important that you talk to your advisor about that and you knock these credits out. The other thing that I do want to mention about this, sorry that I'm going, bottom to top here, is if you were to fail or withdraw from this course, this can affect financial aid. So if you are receiving financial aid, you do need to be aware that if you do end up failing this class or you withdraw for whatever reason, that you want to make sure that that doesn't affect your financial aid, okay? And so what we call that is the Satisfactory Academic Progress, or SAP. And you're going to want to talk to your financial aid advisor about that if you have any questions. So I just wanted to make sure, the portion of this video, guys, is to make sure that you understand what kind of credit you're getting in this class and how that plays a role in your degree. Everyone's going to be different, okay? So it's something that you got to talk to your advisor about and make sure that you're, in the right place. There's nothing wrong with being in this class, okay? simply what it says is that we need to, give you some more skills in order to take those college level courses, even though you are in college, okay? But we want to make sure that before you start taking those college level courses, that you have the necessary skills to be successful in those courses, okay? All right. All right, so I want to talk to you guys a little bit about what flipped, blended, and online learning is. And before I do that, I want to tell you a little story. In the summer of 2012, at the high school I used to work at in Kansas City, they wanted me to teach calculus, okay? And before I taught calculus, I had to go and brush up on my trigonometry, which is like an aspect of math that you kind of have to know before you do calculus. And so, I hadn't done trigonometry in about, 8 years. And so I went back to brush up, and I did what I normally would do, is I would get the book, and I started reading the book. Now, I had about 2 weeks to brush up on all of my trigonometry. And what happened is that I, within about, I probably read the book for about 2 hours. I got through one page, and I had more questions than I had answers to. And I got really frustrated, and I had about 100 pages to get through of material. And I'm thinking to myself, this is going to take way too long. I don't have any other resources. But then what I decided to do to try to answer some of my questions, I went to YouTube and I typed in trigonometry. And what happened was I had a list of videos that popped up. And I watched videos for about another 2 hours. And I was able to brush up on all of my trigonometry in 2 hours. So what I thought about when I said, look, it took me 2 hours to brush up on something via video versus something that would have taken me weeks, maybe months to do via book. And so I had this idea. Now, I'm not the first person to have this idea, but it's the concept of using videos to learn, okay? And I embarked on this thing called the flipped classroom. Since I've moved to Colorado and working at a school that we use a lot of this stuff, I started doing a lot of things like blended learning and all that. So they're all kind of similar, but what you guys are really going to be focusing on right now is the online learning aspect. And so what I've done is I have taken the concept of the flipped classroom and blended learning, and I've turned it and made that into a cool form of online learning. So, one of the cool things about the ability to learn via video is that this becomes a very personalized learning experience for you. I want you to think back to the last math class that you were ever in. And I want you to think about what happened when the teacher was up at the board teaching. And when they were up at the board teaching, you probably understood what they were doing, and you were able to follow along. Maybe you had some questions here and there. But then, flip forward 5 to 6 hours, and all of a sudden it's time for you to do the homework, and you're looking at a set of notes, and you're looking at the book, and you're wondering to yourself, what am I supposed to do? Now, when the teacher did it, it was really easy. But now that I'm doing it on my own, it's really hard. And I always had this problem growing up. I was this type of math student, and I would come home and I'd start working on math, and I'd be like, wait a second, I don't know what I'm doing. And then I wouldn't do anything, and I'd go to class the next day, and I'd be like, hey, I don't understand what I was supposed to do last night. And that was a problem because I wasn't using my time efficiently. And I wasn't learning to the best of my ability. And so what I realized was, I often at the time sat there and said, what if I had a video that explained how to do this so that when I was stuck, I could go back and rewatch that video to brush up on what I was doing. So, that's the type of, math student that I was. And this concept of using videos to learn really, really, really helps that type of learner, which I think is almost everybody, okay? So the cool thing about this is that this becomes very personalized. You have the ability to stop, pause, rewind, speed up, slow down the video so that you can learn at your own pace. And so it's self-paced, okay? So you're not going to be sitting there in class saying, hey, I don't want to raise my hand and ask a question because I don't want to slow the class down. You can go at your own pace. You can do whatever you want. Okay. So the cool other thing, is the convenience of this. Is that you can do this class on your own time and you can do it anywhere that you have an internet connection. Okay, which is one of the really cool things about online learning. But the most important thing that you have to do is you must learn how to be a student in this type of class. Okay, and we're going to learn how to do that here in a second. So sit back, and what I want you guys to do is to get out that the syllabus and note packet that that is on the syllabus orientation assignment. I want you to make sure you have that printed out. We're going to go over how to take notes and how to be a student in this online class in the next part of the video. All right, so in this portion of the video, I want to talk to you guys a little bit about how to take notes. And so what I want you to notice is that this page here that you see matches what you guys have printed out from the syllabus orientation PDF that's on Canvas. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through and we're going to talk about how to take notes. All right, so I'm going to write on this part of the paper, and what I want you guys to do is to follow along and write down what I write down, okay? And the purpose of this, how this class works, is we're going to practice taking notes. All right, and that's our objective for this, all right? So we're going to talk about various things about this class, but this is kind of the practice on how to take notes. And let's go ahead and start this. So the purpose of the videos, okay, now the purpose of the videos, guys, is that we want to learn from the videos. Oops. From the videos, okay? That's the point of them, all right? And that's where you guys are going to do the majority of your learning. Now, when we, your way to access the videos, so these are accessible, so you can access them on Canvas, okay? Or you can access them on YouTube as well, okay? And the important thing is that we learn from the videos. Okay, I can't stress that enough, that you learn. This is where you learn in this class. So you learn from the videos, okay? And this is very important that we understand that, okay? So very important that we understand that that's where we are learning, okay? And the cool thing about having videos and learning from the videos is you have the ability to pause, rewind, speed up, or slow down the videos, okay? And that's a feature that's on YouTube, is that you have the ability to pause, rewind, speed up, slow down anything. So if you feel like, hey, I know this pretty well, I can go through this at a pretty fast pace, that's fine. If you want to slow down the video to have it make more sense so that you have more time to write, that's cool too. Cool thing is that you can pause, you can rewind, and go back through. All right. The other thing about the purpose of the videos is that there isn't a designated time that this class meets, so you have to create time. So where is the time that you're going to utilize the videos? You have to make time for this class, okay? And that's important, okay? Now, right now, this is a 5 credit hour course, okay? And what's recommended is that, for a 5 credit hour course, that you spend, for every credit hour of courses that you're taking, that you're spending 2 to 3 hours per credit hour working outside of class. So what that means, basically, for this class, the recommended time is anywhere from 10 to 15 hours per week, okay? Now, I'm going to be pretty real with you guys. this is the most important thing about the class, is that you find the time to do this per week. If you don't, this class will be a struggle, okay? This class takes time. Learning math takes time, okay? It's not something that you're going to hear once and simply absorb. You need to practice. You need to do homework. You need to watch the videos. It is going to take time. This is only recommended, okay? I've known people that can spend probably a little bit less than this. I've seen students that have spent more time than this per week. But the bottom line is that you have to spend a certain amount of time doing this class. Otherwise, it's going to be a struggle, okay? Now, if you do spend this amount of time per week on this class, that's something, and you will be fine, okay? If you spend time and you're working and you're following all the directions I give you, you're going to be fine. But I just want to make sure that I have this information out there, and that's the expectation, is that you are doing this on your own, okay? All right, the other cool thing about the videos is that you can go back and rewatch, okay? So, there are times where we will have an opportunity to meet virtually, but you have the ability to rewatch the videos, okay? So that if you have a question and you're going, hey, I've got all day to work on this, I can't meet with Joe for a while, then, you have the ability to go back and rewatch those videos, okay? Now, the next thing I want to talk about is how to take notes, okay? Taking notes is a very difficult skill to learn, okay? Oftentimes, I remember, when I would take notes, I would, go through them. I would take notes, write everything down the teacher says, and then when I went back to, to go look at my notes to see if they could help me answer a question, oftentimes I'd look at my notes and I'd have no idea what, the teacher would say. Okay, so it's really important that we know how to take notes because, the point of taking notes is that you learn from your notes, okay? So, all right, first of all, okay, strategies for taking notes is you want to write down everything, that the teacher writes. Okay, that the teacher writes. Okay, that's the first thing. Okay, so you want to write those things down. Okay, but the biggest important thing about notes is that you want to make sure that you understand the notes. Okay, that is the biggest aspect of this. Understand your notes. Okay, because if you don't understand your notes, well, then what are you doing? Why are you writing notes? Okay, there's no point. Okay, so the other tactic about taking notes and making sure that you understand what you're doing is that sometimes you may want to write down what the teacher says but doesn't write. Okay, and that's important because, there are times when I'll be explaining a concept and I'll be, describing that concept and you'll want to, maybe jot down some of those things that I'm saying, okay? Another tactic for taking good notes is writing down step-by-step instructions. So write down step-by-step instructions on how to do things. Okay. All right. The other thing that you can do is, let's say you're stuck on something while you're, watching a video. You should also be writing down questions you have. And that's a really good tactic, okay? Writing down questions you have. And sometimes I will answer those questions in the video. Sometimes I may not, okay? And so those are things that you can, often, after the video say, hey, I got a question, I don't understand this aspect of, the video. And that's totally normal and that's totally fine, but it's important you write those things down. Okay, the last thing I want to talk about on how to take notes is that you will have to turn these in for a grade. So you will turn in for a grade. Okay, and that's really important that we do this because I do take a grade on this. Okay, all right, and so let's kind of talk about that, and let's talk how to do homework and turn it in. So we'll turn homework the same way in as we turn in notes, and I'll talk about that. But the one thing I want to talk about here is that homework is due weekly on Thursdays at 11:59 p.m. Okay, so homework and your notes and all the things that are due for the week are due on Thursdays at 11:59 p.m. Okay, I do accept late work, but I got to keep some sort of like schedule. And so Thursdays at midnight is the time at which I expect things to be done. I know you guys have lives. I know that you may take a day or two to get those in, but it's really important that we try to get those in Thursdays at midnight, okay? So let's talk about how to do homework. First things first, homework is done out of the book, okay? Homework is done out of the book. All right, so make sure that you get the book, and we'll talk about that with that information's in your syllabus with the ISBN number and all that kind of stuff. So it's important that we get that purchased here soon, and that information can also be found online on Basecamp. So homework is also done on notebook paper or some sort of paper. Okay. All right, and you will, but the difference is that you will turn this in online. Okay, so you'll turn it in on Canvas. So turn in online on Canvas. Okay, and I'll show you how to do that. And what I want you to do for that, in order to turn it in online, is you'd want to scan this in. So scan in as a PDF. Okay, and that's how you'll turn those in. There are apps on the phone that you can use to scan those in. There are, like Tiny Scanner and things like that. But the other, the other main scanner that you can use is simply, if you have an iPhone, you can use the Notes app through, and you can scan in PDFs that way. Okay. Now, we're doing homework. One of the things that you'll have to do is check your answers. Okay, so how to check your answers. And what I'll provide with you guys are the solutions. So solutions to the homework will be online. So solutions are posted online. Okay. And so, it's important that you check your answers, okay? So when you're, doing your homework, one of the things that you'd want to do is you want to sit there and the first question that you want to ask yourself is, am I correct? Okay, so the first question you'd ask yourself is, am I correct? All right, when you're checking your work, okay? And then the second question you'd want to ask yourself is, let me write this down, second question is my work correct? So does the work that I have or my logic match what the teacher has? So is the work correct? All right. And that's really important. It's important that to get from point A to point B, is your work logical? Is it correct? Okay. All right. So the other thing is that if you're wrong, Okay, so if you get a question wrong, so if you're wrong, all right, can you explain can you explain the teacher's step-by-step process? Okay, can you explain the step-by-step process on the solutions? Okay, and that's kind of a unique. Can you? Okay, so let me put a question mark here. Okay, I want to talk about that for just a quick minute here. Okay, so when you're checking your solutions, okay, if you're wrong, okay, so let's say you're doing homework and you get something wrong, can you go through my work and go step by step and understand what I did from step to step? When you can do that and you understand that flow of my work, that is a way to learn math, okay? And that's something that you guys have to do on your own. So the solutions, the answers can help you understand how to do the problems, okay? Now, the important thing is that you don't just simply copy, okay? So that you, all right, so do not copy, all right? You will not learn anything from simply copying answers online, okay? The point of this is that you want to use the solutions for understanding, okay? These are a tool, all right? Use solutions for understanding, okay? Not to simply copy. And there's a reason why I'm doing this, okay? And this is one of the cool things that's going to help you learn in this class. And it's the most important part of this class, is that you are going to record yourself doing math, okay? And this is the most important part of the course, all right? So this is the most important part of the course. All right. And this is where you're going to do the most learning, okay? So let's talk about what my expectations are for this, okay? The important thing is when you record yourself doing math, okay, I want to hear your voice and see you write. Much like how you're seeing this now, okay? You know, you don't see my face on this, but you can hear my voice and you can see what I'm writing, okay? So that is I have to have that, okay? This is a must. If I don't see what you're writing down as you're saying it, I can't grade that, okay? I have to really see what you write and hear your voice, okay? Now, in order to record yourself, you have to choose a method of recording. So choose a method of recording that works for you, okay? So choose a method of recording. Now, what I use, guys, is I use an iPad, and I use a software called Explain Everything. Now, I had to buy the iPad, and I had to pay for the software. So, you know, the key to this is I don't want you to go out and have to do exactly what I'm doing. If you have an iPad and you have a stylus and you're capable of doing that and uploading those videos into Canvas, then that's great. But, you know, let's kind of think of like some options that you can use. You can use a tablet, all right, and you can write on it just like how I'm doing. You can use a phone, okay? And what I mean by that is you could hold your phone up, all right, hold the phone up so that and show your writing. Hold the phone up and then show your writing. Okay, that's probably the most preferred way. I feel like this method here is probably the best because you guys all have phones, okay, and that's a pretty easy thing to do, okay. The other thing that you can do is use your computer, okay. Your computer has a webcam, okay. So you can use your webcam and a whiteboard. And what I'm noticing is that some of you guys already have already taken one of my classes and you're familiar with that process. Okay, so you can use a webcam on your computer and a whiteboard and write on that. Okay. And so, but the main thing is, if you're going to use your webcam and a whiteboard, the important thing is that I need to see you write. So, and hear your voice. It may be awkward. It may take a little bit of getting used to, but those are some ways that I want you to do. So, be aware that this may take time to troubleshoot. Okay, this may take time to troubleshoot. All right. Especially with, uploading the videos into Canvas, okay? We'll talk about like file size and all that kind of stuff. Okay, the other thing is you're probably sitting there going, all right, taking a math class online is very different, okay? How do you ask for help in an online setting, okay? And the cool thing is that every week I hold virtual office hours. Depending on what class you're in, there is a set time per week that I can do that. So if you're, I'll label that in the next part of the video, depending on if you're in Math 050 or 055. So virtual office hours, and this is done through WebEx. So the cool thing is that, CMC, so done through this program called WebEx. And what it does, I basically sit in front of my computer. I have my webcam on me, and you guys will log in. I'll be able to see your face or hear your voice, and then you will be able to see. I'll be able to plug in my iPad, and I'll be able to actually write in real time, and we can have a conversation, and I can go over stuff with you in real time, okay? So, pretty cool thing that we have. So virtual office hours, utilize them, okay? And so let's just write down that we can talk in real time. Okay. I can instruct in real time. So I can instruct in real time. Okay. And that's pretty powerful. So if you're sitting there and you're like, hey, I got a question, and it's over just, something pretty quick and easy, I can write on the iPad and we can have a conversation, and it's pretty cool. The other thing that you can do is, in here, let's talk about this. Virtual office hours, those happen typically between 6 and 8 p.m. Monday through Thursday. 6 to 8 p.m. Monday through Thursday. Depending on what class you're in, it won't be every day, but, so like one class will run Monday and Wednesday. The other class that I teach will run Tuesdays and Thursdays, okay? So I can't remember which one's which, but so it's only going to be 2 days a week that I'll hold this, okay? If those times don't work for you, you can schedule a time, okay? I am rather flexible. If there's a time, say early in the morning or directly after school, that's a time that we can, meet if that works for you. If 6 to 8 p.m. is like absolutely no, not happening, let me know. Okay, if you want to get together, we can get together. All right, but you have to make sure that you schedule that time with me and make sure it works. Okay, I do have a life, believe it or not, and I do things outside of working. I have a full-time job, guys. I work from 7:30 a.m. until 3:30 p.m. and then I do this stuff in the evening. So if there is a time that works a little bit better for you, we can make that work. But it's important that you do this, okay? The other thing that you can do is you can send me an email, send a picture of your question, okay? And I will respond with a video, okay? I can quickly make a video and just send it off to you. So respond with a video, okay? The other thing that you can do, if you want to, you can just send me a video, okay, and telling me where you're having trouble, all right? So, a lot of different ways where you can ask questions and get help from me, okay? One of the things that we got to talk about is where to take exams, okay? You are going to take 4 total assessments, okay? 4 total assessments, all right? 2 will be take-home exams, okay? 2 are take-home. And we're going to call those tests. So 2 take-home tests. Okay. And then you will take 2 proctored exams. And a proctored exam means that you have to go to a CMC location. All right, let's write this down first. Okay. Okay, hold on. So 2 take-home tests, and those will be scanned in as a PDF. So scanned as a PDF. Okay. When you take your proctored exam, this will be done at a CMC testing location. So done at a CMC testing location. All right. You will have to schedule this. So these are scheduled in advance, and I'll talk more about that. Scheduled in advance during a certain week, okay? During a specific time. All right. So there will be a week where you'll have to take your midterm and your final, and those will have to be done at CMC. Okay, the last thing I want to talk about here is your grading policy. Okay, and your grading policy is as such. You have homework and notes. Okay, you have weekly demonstration of skills, okay, which I call recording yourself. So weekly demonstration of skills. Okay. And this is going to be where you record yourself. Record yourself. Okay. The last thing that we have are tests and exams. Okay. Now, within each of these, your homework and your notes accounts for 5% of your grade. This is weighted. Okay. The weekly demonstration of skills, when you record yourself, is a whopping 35%. Okay. Tests and exams are going to be 65%. Or no, 60%, sorry. Okay. Now, here's what you need. In order to pass, okay, this is very, very important. So, in order to pass the class, all right, you must earn at least a 75%. Must earn at least 75%. Okay, so I put the videos, the weekly demonstration of skills, as a very high weight because this is the most important part of the class. Okay, it's important, yes, that you do your homework and you do. It should be HW, not HM. Homework and notes is important. That's where you do your learning. But this is where you are going to learn the most. Okay, and then you have to perform on a test or exam. Okay, so that's how the breakdown is going to go. And I just want to make sure that that's clear, that you guys understand that. All right. So, I want you to take a look at this. All right. I wrote very, very, very small when I wrote these notes down. Okay. You will need to write small. Okay. Because I write small. All right. But utilize your space. If you need a couple extra pieces of paper, all the notes will be provided to you. This is how my videos typically run. But I wanted to make sure that I went through, not only how to take notes and some strategies for taking notes, but just kind of like how to be a student in this online class. Okay, and if you follow these instructions, you will be very successful, okay? And the most important thing, remember, is your time, okay? It's going to take time. So if you're not prepared to spend that kind of time, or any time, all right, then, it's not going to happen, okay? You are in college. You are going to have to do this thing called put in the good old college try, which means you actually just kind of sit down and do the work. So, all right, so that's it for this portion of the video. The next part, we're going to go over the syllabus, important dates, and things like that. So hang. Okay, this is your syllabus for the course, and what I want you guys to do is to truly read everything in this. I'm going to go over some key points of this document, but I do want you to read the fine print. So please make sure that you do read this, as it is kind of our agreement and the rules for the class. So this class is in the format of online anytime. All right, we will not require in-person attendance, and we will not be meeting, via Zoom or anything like that. So this course is done at your own time when it is convenient for you. Okay. Here's the name of the course. We're in quantitative literacy. We're in Math 050. This is summer 2021 4-credit course. The prerequisite to get into this class is an Accuplacer score or some other kind of standardized test score like an SAT or something like that. You are also in a co-requisite class, AAA 095. Now, if you qualified to take this class, then you should be enrolled in it. But if your academic advisor said, no, you don't need to take that, you don't need to worry about that. We are starting this class on June 1st, 2021. We will be ending on August 6th, 2021. The last day to get a refund for the class, if you're not feeling it and it's not going to work out for you, is June 11th. And then the last day to withdraw without, failure is July 21st, 2021. All right. The next thing, this first part is really important. All right. No show reporting is Tuesday, June 8th, 2021. Now, what this means is that if you do not complete the first 4 assignments in the week 1 module within the first 7 days of the course start date, I will have to drop you from the course, okay? So if you don't log in and you don't complete those first few assignments, then that, you'll be dropped, all right? So make sure you read this. There might be a financial aid issue to this. You may, something might happen to your financial aid. So be careful of that if you are receiving some money. All right, my instructor information. This is my name. I'm Joseph Police. This is my cell phone number. Please make sure that you might want to have that in your phone and add me as a contact, because I will be making phone calls fairly often during the semester just to touch base with you guys and see how you're doing. and that's probably one of the easiest ways to get a hold of me is to text me. If you do call, please leave a message. All right. And then here's my email. You can get a hold of me that way as well. So you can call, email, text. And then if you want to meet for office hours, you will need to schedule that with me. So email, if you want to schedule something with office hours, email me and I will provide instructions on how to go about that. Because the way I schedule office hours is probably different than most other CMC teachers. Okay, required course materials. You will need a computer with internet access. You are taking an online class, so that is something you need. You will need a method to record yourself doing math. So this would be a camera on a cell phone, webcam on a computer or a tablet device. You can do math on paper, a whiteboard, or a tablet device that you can write on. My recommendation for your purposes is a cell phone, okay, and a piece of paper. That would probably be the easiest. The trick that you're going to have to figure out is to take the video from your cell phone and transfer that to your computer, and then upload that into Canvas somehow, whether that's a link from YouTube or something like that. And there's more information on that later, but that's what I've got. Now, your textbook will automatically be on Canvas, so you don't have to worry about anything with that. And so that's that. All right, let's go to the next page. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about, here's your ISBN number if you do want to order that book for some reason, but again, it will be on Canvas. You will also need some sort of basic calculator, all right? And let's get rid of this statement here at CMC testing centers. We're not going to be taking tests at CMC, okay? So if you really, want to use your cell phone as a calculator, you can. I would suggest going and getting, either a very basic calculator or a scientific calculator for this class. You will want paper, notebook, and pencils, okay? Here's information about the LMP, which is our Learning Materials Program. Again, the book is a digital book on Canvas, so it should automatically just be there, okay? You can read through the course description of the concepts that we're going to cover, but here's the outline of what we're going to be learning. All right, that's going to continue down on this next page. At the end of the course, you'll be able to complete a survey to talk about your experiences with this course. And so you will be able to give me feedback and let me know how I am doing. And I encourage you to do that because I like to be graded. So I'm always striving to do my best and make sure that you guys have everything you need. But you gotta tell me. So what's working and what doesn't work. Okay, evaluation methods. All right, so mastery of the course objectives is the goal of quantitative literacy. Your grade will be determined by the following. So you have homework assignments, guided notes, and discussions. These are collected weekly every Thursday night at 11 p.m. All right, this accounts for 15% of your grade. All right, so while all this stuff is really important, it doesn't carry that much weight, all right? Now, the next thing that you have to do is your weekly demonstration of skills via video. This is collected weekly. This is worth 25% of your grade. This is a really big chunk, and this is not probably, it is the most important part of what you need to be doing in this class. Recording yourself, demonstrating that you can do these kinds of problems is what is most important, and so please make sure that you are doing that weekly and stay on top of that. Tests and exams, all right, and we have 4 of them, is 60% of your grade. All right, so about every 2 or 3 weeks we are taking a test or an exam, and I'll talk more about the schedule here in just a second. Here is your grading scale. Okay, so 90 to 100% is an A, 80 to 89 is a B, 75 to 79 is a C, and a 60 to 74% is a D. This is really important to see. Now, I'll note this on the other page, but you have to be in this range to pass. Okay, you have to get above a 75% in order to pass. All right, let's take a look at the next page for further clarification on this. Okay, the other part about this was that a 59% and below is an F, and that is a failing grade. So in order to pass this course and to move on, you must earn a grade of a C which is 75% or better, okay? And that's the idea, okay? Please read through this material here, classroom management. Your assignments should include your name, the date, and the section number of the activity. These need to be submitted online as a scanned PDF or as a picture. Preferred as a scanned PDF. That's easier for me. And when we submit exams, you'll want to make sure that you put that as a single PDF. Weekly assignments are due at 11:59 p.m. each Thursday night, unless otherwise instructed and indicated. Work will be accepted late with no penalty, but this is highly discouraged. I'm going to talk more about this in just a second. It is really, really important that you try to get things in on time. It's an online class. I'm not going to penalize you for getting something in late, but the work is going to pile on every single week. So if you, for some reason, take a week off, that is a very, very not advised idea. Please don't do that. The work will pile on. Students that have taken my classes before, that's what they say. Every single one of them, every piece of advice is try your best to not fall behind, okay? Attendance in this online class is extremely important. Again, I don't take attendance, but you have to be the one doing it. You are required to spend some time each day working on the class. Now, it is recommended that you spend 15 hours per week on this course to ensure success. Okay, you don't have to spend 15 hours. You can spend more than that. You might be able to spend less than that, but you got to spend something. If you were to do 15 hours per week, you will find success. And trust me when I say that, all right? But if you don't do that, that's up to you, but you may not find the success that you're looking for, okay? Be nice to each other. That's some of the other rules. If you are experiencing problems with the classwork, it is up to you to tell me and to get help from me if you need it, okay? I will be checking in with you guys regularly, and I'll be sending you weekly updates via email and through Canvas, and making phone calls and reaching out to you personally. However, if you're struggling, it's up to you to walk through the door and say, I need help, okay? I will post homework and test grades on Canvas, so that's where you'd want to be checking your grade and all that, all right? This is also really important, something to read, all right? How to be successful. Be an active learner. Do the work. Watch the videos. Take good notes. You should learn from the videos and re-watch them if you need to. Follow my example and practice. Do the homework. Make sure that you are doing all the problems on the homework. Do not cheat on that, since I do give you the solutions, but use the solutions to help you, okay? You want to please make sure you're participating in the weekly discussion post. That helps build community, helps you guys kind of identify that maybe you guys are going through the same thing, and helps you guys connect. Record your videos. This is the most important part of your learning. If you can show me how to do the problem, then you know the problem and you can do it very well, and you'll do very well on exams. Check your homework with the answers at the back of the book and the solutions that I provide online. If you're getting a different answer than what was printed in the ebook, then ask for help. And hint, some of my solutions might be wrong. So, the students that are reaching out to me going, hey, on section, 7.3, I noticed that question 6, I'm getting something completely different, and I'm pretty sure that I'm right. That's very well could be the case. So, it's always double check. Always email me, and I will double check that and let you know. But yeah, there are a couple of mistakes on the solutions. All right, so please let me know. That way I know that you are, doing the work. All right. You can also, if you want to, read the textbook. Everything I teach to you is actually coming from the book. I try to put it in terms that are easiest to understand. The book is a little bit, it's a really good book. I like the book, but, again, you can read it from there. Organize your schedule, guys. It is really important to have a calendar, to find time and make time to study and work on this class each day. I would that's going to be really, really important for your success. If you guys want to, you guys can reach out to each other in the class and work virtually. If you guys live in the same town or whatever, and you can get together and you're okay with that, then feel free. I can't stop you and I won't stop you, but that's just something to think about. If you don't like the way that I'm teaching and you want a different approach, we can find other videos for you. All right, so that's that. Let's take a look at the next page. All right, and up here, on this statement here, I want you to be successful in this class, and I believe that anyone can be successful. Okay, talk to me about the barriers that are impeding your success. Okay, so please reach out to me if you're having any issues. I'll let you guys go through this information. You guys have rights as students for non-discrimination, your rights and your responsibilities as a student. So feel free to click these links and read through that information to make sure that you are receiving all the resources you need and making sure that you are being treated honestly and fairly. Okay. Okay, next. Online CMC libraries. They are there to help if you have resources. Not sure if you're going to really need to use this, but the links are there if you would like to. This link down here, tutoring support. CMC offers free tutoring. So if my schedule doesn't work out with your schedule, click on this link and get hooked up with somebody, all right, and work with somebody. And maybe the way that they're explaining it might work better than how I'm doing it, okay? So hearing it from somebody else might be very helpful. Please also feel free to reach out to me for help, okay? Don't feel like I won't help you because I will, all right? So, but this is another resource for you. It is free, and that's pretty sweet. So try to take advantage of that. All right, let's talk about the course schedule. This is really important with the summer course because we have a much shorter amount of time to get through the work. So let's take a look at that. Okay, normally this class runs for anywhere from 14 to 16 weeks, okay? In a semester, if you take this in the fall or the spring, that's what we're doing. In the summer, we run this in 10 weeks. So we are doing a lot of work each week, okay? So I just want to note that, during week 1, these are all of the assignments that you got to get through. The syllabus orientation, the thing that you're currently working on, is going to take up a lot of time. So what I don't want you to do is freak out right now and be like, oh my gosh, this is way too much work, okay? This is what the class has to cover, okay? I can't change that fact, okay? And this is, what I don't want to do is to have things be so stressful with a lot of sections at the end that that you're scrambling to get things done. All right, so here's how I organize the course. So you have syllabus orientation, which is kind of a long situation of how to be a student in this class and how to understand what's going on. It's really, really important that you do that so that the rest of the class runs smoothly. Okay. But you have 5 sections to get through. That includes notes, that includes homework, that includes the recording yourself, all right? Here's, assignments and things that are due, so you can check and see what is available to you here. The syllabus orientation is what we're currently in, but then you have to do all these homework assignments and you got to do all those videos, okay? And that's a lot, okay? This really is a lot of information in a short amount of time, but unfortunately, that's just how summer classes work. We just have to do that because we got to get through 15 weeks of material in 10, all right? So that's the difference. So, that's week 1. Now, all of these assignments, all of these things here are going to be due on Thursday, June 3rd at, let me put an E in there, June 3rd. Oh my gosh, this looks terrible. June 3rd at 11:59 p.m. each night. So if you're wondering, all right, what's due this week? Well, this is week 1. All this stuff is due. Go to the week 1 module in Canvas and start from the top and work your way through to get through all these things, okay? And that's what we've got going on. Now, during week 2, all right, it's important that you get through all of these during week 2. And again, guys, this is a lot of stuff to get through. You're doing 5 sections in a week. That's a lot, okay? So manage your time. It's really, really important that you do that, okay? Now, the other important thing is that on here, I've got the no-show reporting date. I've got the refund date. So those are in, week 2, all right? Week 3, again, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 things to do during week 3. And then we're taking the take-home test during that week as well. Make sure that you're checking Canvas to see that. Again, I'll be reminding you of all these things, but like during the first 3 weeks, we have a lot of stuff to do, okay? So, and then we take a test, all right? And it's a take-home test, all right? So, you don't have to go anywhere and take it, which is nice. But it's just a lot of information, okay? The following week, we just jump right in. And we've got 6 sections to get through here, all right, during week 4. During week 5, kind of slows down a little bit. We got 3 sections to get through. Then during week 6, all right, your midterm exam is due at the beginning of the week. We'll talk about that later. I'll let you guys know what's going on. But that's what's going on. So, with the midterm, you also during week 6 have to get through a number of sections. I want to say you have 4 sections to get through. All right, but let's take a look at the back page to finalize that. Okay, I lied. There are 5 sections to get through in a midterm during week 6. During week 7, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sections to get through. And then during week 8, you have the 3rd exam that will cover, the previous items that we've talked about during week 8, and then during week 8 you've got 4 sections to get through. Week 9 is kind of a light week. It's just where you have 2 sections to get through, okay? And then during week 10, the last thing that we do is take a final exam. Now, in what you might see, and something I may have already talked about or may talk about in the future, is talking about taking a test proctored at CMC. And that was something because of COVID we're not doing. So the final exam is on Canvas. The midterm is on Canvas as a quiz. Okay, so we won't be doing that this semester. All right, we'll probably start going back into the buildings, doing that in the fall. But for our online classes, for our purposes this summer, we're just going to do everything remotely and not go in and take a proctored exam. All right, so that's the idea. Now, the last day to turn anything in. So the last day for any assignment, okay, through the course is August 6th, 2021 at 11:59 p.m. that night, okay? I have to have an end date for this, okay? You can turn in week 2 stuff on this day, okay? I don't encourage that, but you can, all right? So it's important that you, that I talk about this now. And again, I'll remind you of all these things throughout each week and keep you updated with stuff. But it's really, really, really important that you, know that there is a final due date for things. Again, there's just so much information and so much stuff going on that, it's really, really, really important that you stay on top of it. I cannot stress that enough. So get started as soon as you can. Utilize your time. Reach out for me with questions. And all that. So that's all I have for the syllabus. We're going to go back into the syllabus orientation of how to be a student in this class and other things you need to do, especially on how to record videos. And I'll have other information on that as well. But for now, that's all the information I have for the syllabus. Again, please read through it yourself and reach out to me if you have any questions. All right, thanks. All right, so on this part, I want to talk about how to take notes and turn them in. So one of the hard things about an online class is my ability to check your work. to check to see if you've done it, if you've done what I've asked you to do. And so what we have to do is we have to do this, turn things in digitally. All right. So the first things first, what I want you to do is, have your computer open and have your notes out. Okay. And then whenever I write on the computer, then you write out on your notes. Okay. When you're done with that, when you've watched the video and you've taken all the notes, what I want you to do is then take a picture of your notes. Okay, and put a smile on your face because we're having fun when we do this. But when you have this, you can either take a picture of the actual notes themselves, or you can. But the difference is that you get kind of all this extra stuff on the sides and all that. So what you could do is scan it in with your phone. Okay, and there's an app for that. And that app is called the Tiny Scanner PDF scanner. So what you would do, what it does is it takes the camera on your phone and it turns it into a PDF scanner. So what I would want you to do, if you do the PDF scanner, you'll create a document that is, your notes. Okay, so you would have a document that does this. Or what you can do is you can do, take the photo and paste it into a Word document. And then save as a PDF. Okay. And you can do that too. I would prefer you to do it as a PDF. In any case, I want you to turn in PDFs, okay? But if you do, I would prefer if you guys scan them in as a PDF before you do anything. But that's kind of my preference. But if you want to take a photo and put it and paste it into a Word document, you can do that too. Okay, now what I mean by that is take a photo. You may want to email it to yourself and then put it into a Word document, save it as a PDF. And then, the cool thing is, guys, is that not only do you have like a physical copy of this, but you have a digital copy as well, okay? And a part of this, to practice this, to turn it in, I actually want you to do the same thing with the notes from your orientation, okay? So right now, what I would like you to do is to practice this by physically taking and doing this, taking a scanner, scanning in a photo, and putting it into a PDF, and then turning it in on Canvas. Okay, so you turn them in on Canvas, and it'll be the assignment. So there's instructions on that page on Canvas that tells you what to do. Okay, so now let's talk about doing homework. Okay, on this part, how to do homework and turn it in, you'll turn it in the same way. So you'll turn it in the same way as you would notes. So turn it in, and that's going to be the same way as notes. Okay, and you've had practice on doing that, on Canvas. But I want you to take a look at this picture. Okay, when you're doing homework, there's a couple of things I want you to consider here. Okay, number one is that your notes are out. Okay, so here, what I want you to see here is that you have your notes are out. Okay, and you also have the video out. Okay, and so what happens is that as you're going through problems, what you should do is you should look at your notes and say, okay, if I'm trying to do this problem, what did I do in my notes? Now, if you go into your notes and you say, okay, wait a second, this doesn't make any sense, you should go back to the video and rewatch the video. What did we do in the video that helped us do the problem in the notes? And then how could we apply that to do it from the book, okay? And then you would do your homework on a piece of paper, okay? And what I'd want you to then do is turn it in the same way as you would the notes, okay? And then I'll grade it, accordingly. So, but that's the idea. Okay, now the other thing is that you can also use the homework solutions, okay? Use the solutions to help you understand how I got the answer. So use it to understand. So use it to understand. Okay, and not to copy. Okay, and so we've already kind of talked about all that kind of stuff, and you can access the homework solutions on Canvas. Okay, those will be available to you on Canvas as well. All right, so that about does it for homework. Okay, and if you've got questions, get a hold of me, please. All right, and that's all I have for that. Okay. Okay, the last little part I want to talk about is recording yourself. Now, what I do is I use a tablet. I use an iPad with a stylus to do this. To get the sound right, what I do is I use the headphones because on the Apple headphones, you have a microphone right here, and so you always consistently get good sound from that. So this is one option, okay? But there is also another option, and the other option is using Canvas, okay? So using Canvas. And this is kind of the preferred option. This is the cheaper option, obviously, as well. So using Canvas, you'll need to go out and get a small whiteboard, okay? And the whiteboards, I've looked on Amazon, the small whiteboard is around like $8, okay? You'll want to get some whiteboard markers as well. So whiteboard markers, and those are a little expensive too, but you can get those at any, Target, Walmart, whatever. And you can also get a small whiteboard at those same places too. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys how to actually do that on Canvas and how to record yourself doing math on Canvas using the whiteboard. Okay, so what I want you to do for this next part, is actually use the camera that's on your computer. Okay, so use the little camera that's right there, and what you'll do is you'll then bring up your whiteboard here, and this is fun. Mine's really big. Yours probably wouldn't be so big, but then what I want you to do is come in here and say, okay, what is, 7 plus 3, okay? I know that 7 plus 3 is equal to 10, and you would make a video explaining that, kind of like what I do, all right? So that's the idea of what I want you to do. Now, on Canvas, there will actually be a portion where you can, the assignment will be for you to actually record yourself doing it, okay? And you'll see that on one of them. So on the assignment for the orientation video, what I want you guys to do is to actually just record yourself talking and introduce yourself to me, and give you points for that. So that's kind of the idea. So make sure you go out and get a whiteboard, get a couple whiteboard markers. This one I think shows up backwards for some reason. Yours probably wouldn't do that. If it does, then we'll deal with that and go from there. But yeah, pretty much it. So. Hope you enjoyed this. We'll see you in a bit. Thanks. All right, so if you're going to record yourself, using your phone to do this, what I would recommend doing is taking your phone, holding it up, and then, writing underneath, okay? And that might be a little bit weird for you, but that might, be a tactic that you can utilize. Okay, when you do that, you're just going to hover your phone over and, just start writing. It is a little weird because you can't really see what you're doing. You may have to tilt your head over to the right so that you can write better. All right, and then kind of follow your phone along to show that you can write. So that's probably one of the easiest ways to do this. But, just trying to give you guys as many options as possible to make your videos. Okay, so once you guys have recorded your video and you have that done, go ahead and hit the export button, which is in the bottom left. And what you'll notice is, I have this video that I just did, and that's the one that's selected. Right below that, you can see this thing called AirDrop. So if you have an iPhone and you have a Mac, you can send files between those devices using AirDrop. So if I automatically just click on my Mac, it'll send this over to my Mac. It might take a minute because it's a video and it takes a minute to do a video. But what it will do is that will then be downloaded by my computer, and I'll have that video on my computer. The other thing that you can do is, and I'm just going to go ahead and decline it because I don't need it. I will in a minute. I'll need this video. So the video of the video, okay, incepted videos, okay. But you can also email it. You could maybe do, however you want to do it, iCloud photo sharing, send it to yourself via text, or Google Drive, or whatever you want to do. There might be some more options here. It just kind of depends on what you have on your phone. So email works. We'll talk about YouTube if we want to go down that road, but I would prefer not. I prefer all these to be uploaded into Canvas. All right, so while we're on the concept of talking about recording yourself, I want to make a couple of quick notes. And the first thing is that your files, when you do upload these videos, can be no longer larger than 5 megabits, okay? But the cool thing is that you can upload as many videos you want into that assignment, but each video can't exceed 5 megabits. So you may, have this issue where you've got too many, your video's too long, you can cut it up, okay? And the other important thing is I must see you writing and hear your voice. I know I've talked about that, but it's so important. What I had in the past is that people, it'd be like this, a webcam on their face, and they'd be writing, and then I wouldn't be able to see what they were writing when they were like this, and then they just show it, okay? I can't have that anymore. We got to figure something out where we can, I need to hear your voice and see what you're writing as you're talking, okay? I think the best bet is to take your phone, hold it above your paper, and record that way, okay? So it's important that we give that a shot. I think that's probably the easiest way. And, transferring those files, those can be done over email, Dropbox, Google Drive, AirDrop if you're using a Mac and an iPhone, those kinds of things. So, that's something that you're going to have to spend some time with trying to figure out what's going to work best for you, okay? And I want to make sure that you guys are, ready and capable to do that, and that this runs smoothly, okay? So that's all. All right, so I know I just said how I don't want you guys to upload videos to YouTube. However, an option available to you is to upload your videos to YouTube. You can do this a number of ways. You can do it through your phone. You can do it through your computer. But what I want you to know is that you have a Google account with your CMC account. So the same way that you sign in to your CMC account also provides you with a Google account. Because Google owns YouTube, you also have a free YouTube account, okay? And the cool thing about that is that these videos can be as long as you want, okay? You're not restricted to size, and then in order to submit, okay, you will submit a link into Canvas, okay? And you can do that, but you can also just directly submit these videos into Canvas, however you want to do it. I find that this is a lot easier to do than submitting them on Canvas, but it all just depends on what you want to do. So, all right, next part. All I got for this part. Okay, real quick, I want to talk to you guys about some of my expectations for Math 055. Because you're in Math 055, what that means is that you have shown us that you know all the most, if not all, of the concepts from Math 050. Okay, so you are responsible for all prior knowledge like operating with fractions. Now, I will help you with this, but it's also something you can't have that excuse and say, oh, I don't know how to do that, therefore I can't do this problem, okay? So you need to make sure that you remember how to do those types of things. I will help you through that process. Come to office hours and utilize, the resources available to you, okay? The other thing I want to talk about is that not every homework problem will match the problem in the notes, okay? So you might encounter a homework problem that's like, ugh, this one might be kind of hard, okay? And you may not have an example like that. I will do my best to make sure that I have made extra videos for you to help you with those types of problems, okay? So if you want me to make a couple of more videos, just let me know, okay? The other thing is that office hours and homework should be solutions are your friends. Use them as resources, okay? So use the solutions, use office hours to try and figure things out, to try and help you, learn things you may not be comfortable with, okay? So it's really important that you utilize those resources, okay? Especially homework solutions. Use those to help figure out how to do problems, okay? So, just wanted to go over some of those expectations with you. All right, so just to wrap this up, guys, I want to just, talk about a couple things. I know this is a lot of information in this video, but the first thing I want you to understand is that I want you to believe in yourself, okay? This class is going to be hard, all right? It's going to require a lot of time. It's going to require a lot of effort, but you can do it. You have to believe in yourself. That's the first thing, and I believe in every single one of you, and I know that you can do well in this class, okay? Now, just to close up, want to talk about a couple things. First things first, communication. I will be sending out a weekly email, an announcement to you guys with regards to things that are going on. You can expect that usually over the weekend on Sundays, and that'll be an announcement on Canvas, and it'll also be, sent to your email, okay? The other thing I want to talk about is that, this might be a very brand new way for you to learn math, and that's okay. But I want you to believe in this process. I know it works. I think this is probably one of the best ways for you to learn math, but it's going to require effort on your part, okay? It's going to require you to be an active learner versus a passive learner, okay? And that's really cool, all right? Not many classes can say that. The last thing I'm going to say is success in this class is determined by hard work and time. Remember, guys, 10 to 15 hours per week. Okay? That's recommended. If you can do that, you're going to do great. All right? You got to make time for this. All right? So, guys, let me know if you have any questions. That's all I have for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you soon. I can't wait to work with you.